Hi, I'm Bridget, and welcome to my kitchen where I help busy families eat well with wholesome and delicious recipes. Today I'm sharing a recipe that walks the line between treat and nourishing snack, between what my kids want to eat and what I'd like them to eat. It's a recipe for whole wheat chocolate zucchini muffins. They're what I like to call true muffins because they're not too sweet. There's only half a cup of refined sugar in a 12 muffin batch, and they get an extra flavor kick from a little touch of molasses. I like to say they combine the nutritious with the delicious. Let's get started. Let's start by combining the dry ingredients. This recipe has half a cup of whole wheat flour. I like to add whole wheat flour to baked goods whenever I can because it adds a little bit of nutrition, it adds some flavor. This is a good stone ground flour. This recipe really will take any kind of whole wheat flour you have on hand or any kind of whole grain flour. Then we're going to add 1 cup of an all-purpose flour. I spoon my flour in so it doesn't get too compacted in the measuring cup because I don't want to end up with too much flour. We'll just level that off. To the flour, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, just half a teaspoon of salt, half a cup of cocoa. Cocoa adds lots of iron and fiber to this recipe. And then I will add 2 tablespoons of ground flax. I often add ground flax to baked goods, again, to add a bit of nutrition. And we'll just whisk these dry ingredients together. Now let's get going on the wet ingredients. We will start with 2 eggs. I use large eggs and they're room temperature just so they can give us the most volume possible. We'll just whisk those together. To that, I am going to add half a cup of sugar. Once the sugar and eggs are well combined, I am going to add 1/3 of a cup of oil. You can use olive oil, canola oil. I like to use grapeseed oil. We'll just whisk that in. And now I will add just half a cup of milk. This is 2% milk, but really you could use any kind of milk you want, dairy or non-dairy. So that is well combined. For the zucchini, I like to just grate it on the side of a box grater, the large side of a box grater. I love it when I can tuck vegetables into a snack food, and as an added benefit, zucchini keeps these muffins extra moist. Now I'm going to measure it first and carefully. See how I'm just dropping it into the measuring cup? We need 1.5 cups, so this medium-sized zucchini is a good amount. And really you don't have to be 100% precise with this, so I'm going to use all of the zucchini that I measured. Now before I add it to the batter, I'm going to squeeze a little bit of the liquid out. And to do that, I just take it a handful at a time and squeeze it in my fist. This isn't a precise thing, but it does get rid of some of the moisture, so it doesn't make the muffins too moist or a little sticky on the inside. In all, we're probably getting rid of about 3 tablespoons worth of liquid, but it depends on your zucchini, how fresh or how juicy it is. There we go. Before we put everything together, I am going to add a little bit of molasses to the wet mixture. It's 3 tablespoons of molasses. Molasses and chocolate are an excellent combination. They really complement one another. Molasses seems to have some of those almost licoricey notes that dark chocolate has. There we go. We'll get that combined. And now I'm going to add the wet ingredients first to the dry ingredients. I'll mix it just a little bit, and then I will stir in the zucchini and the chocolate chips. So I'll just whisk it a little bit. You never want to work your muffin batter too much or your muffins will be tough. So I'm just getting that a little bit together. And then I'm going to sprinkle over the zucchini. And half a cup of chocolate chips. And I will stir this just until everything is combined and until the chocolate chips and the zucchini is well distributed. There we go. We're ready to put our batter into the muffin tins. I've preheated my oven to 375 degrees. I've lined my muffin pan with paper liners. You could grease and flour yours as well, or just grease them. I just find it easier when I use the muffin papers. And we are going to fill these muffin tins right to the top. This recipe makes a perfect 1 dozen muffins. And don't be shy using up all the batter, putting it in the muffin tins. You might feel like they're a little too full, but these muffins bake up just fine. Try to fill your muffin tins as evenly as possible so your muffins will bake evenly. There, we're ready to put our muffins in the oven. As I said, I preheated the oven to 375 degrees. These muffins will bake for about 20 minutes. With their rich chocolatey color, they may look like cupcakes, but they taste wholesome and are just sweet enough to be satisfying. And they're simple enough to make that you can put this recipe on repeat. I'll be sharing more wholesome snack ideas, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.